Yo, what's good? Welcome to my DVD review of Greatest Rivalries, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. Now, this is a 3 disc set. Look at the inside. It's pretty cool. All the pictures. It has like clippings from newspapers and stuff. The 3 discs right here. And then you got the match listing. You don't got the little slip. It has them on that, which, I mean, it's cool. I like the slip though, but I know a lot of times that I've bought DVDs and it doesn't even come with the slip. So I think that's why they made it like this. It is not the first DVD I've gotten that is like this, but I, I'm kind of neutral on that. But on this DVD, this set, really good. Disc one covers uh, it's about a 2 hour and a half or 3 hour interview between J between JR to Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, man. And JR is a great interview. He asks some great questions. They go from their days as a tag team from when Shawn Michaels barely joined the WWF as a member of the Rockers, how he was excited for the Rockers to come into the WWF because it was new competition. The Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart had already had rivalries and matches with most of the tag teams that were established already. So he was excited to have these young, new, fresh look tag teams. All the tag teams back then were big. They were big, muscle bound guys like the Warlords, thing like that. All basically what they said, it was the dinosaur era, like the Hogan era. They were the dinosaurs, big muscular guys, and they brought in the mammals. So they brought in some intelligence to the wrestlers. So they were smaller guys. They weren't as strong, but they could perform. And damn it, they could perform and they could outperform some of these big guys. That's why they say that they got these exposures. And as Bret Hart started moving up, Shawn Michaels was a few steps behind them. But you could see that they were on a collision course. And it was pretty much these guys liked each other until until about around 96, late 96, when Shawn Michaels had to give up his title due to a knee injury, and Bret Hart doubts that Shawn Michaels was actually injured at that time. He said that he had wrestled injured many times, so he said that Shawn Michaels didn't respect the belt, and it was since that moment where some kind of animosity had come on between Bret and Shawn Michaels. That was after the WrestleMania 12 match. Great match, by the way. It is on this. It's on the 3rd disc. That's probably worth the price of the DVD alone. But if you're a long-time collector, you probably already had it. Honestly, I just saw this match a few days ago, which is surprising, but it was the first time I saw it, and it was a really good match. So 1 hour Iron Man match, but it's worth a watch for any longtime wrestling fan or any new fan that enjoys watching Shawn Michaels or even Bret Hart. So the documentary goes up until the Montreal Screwjob, and they just go on and on about the details, how Shawn Michaels knew, but they didn't really know what they were gonna do until the day of. Oh man, great stuff, man. Then Shawn Michaels talks about his injuries and coming back, and Bret Hart talks about how he got a stroke, how going to WCW was probably the worst decision he's ever made in his career, which it was because WCW at that time didn't know what to do with anybody that was not part of the NWO. So then he got a stroke, and basically he had a lot of inner demons. He had a lot of anger in him. His brother-in-law died, Davy Boy Smith. I think that's his name. The British Bulldog. Brian Pillman died, Owen Hart died, Mr. Perfect died. So a lot of people in his life were dying, and he just had so much anger until he had the stroke. He said that kind of helped him like ease up. Like he didn't have to be so angry all the time. He didn't have to be so angry at Shawn Michaels, at Vince McMahon for screwing him. He didn't have to be so angry about all the deaths in his family because the stroke was kind of a realization. So, really great stuff, man. Disc one is by far probably the best disc, and it is a great interview by JR. Like I've said already, this two has a few matches, and this two, and this three have matches. So here we got this. Here I'm gonna just read them off, and then I can show you. This too, the Rockers vs. Hart Foundation, November 25th, 1989. Bret Hart vs. Shawn Michaels Wrestling Challenge. The Rockers versus the Hart Foundation. See, the first two matches, they ended in a DQ. They weren't very good. They were high paced, like you would expect a Hart Foundation versus Rocker match to be, but they weren't really that great of matches. Even the Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels in 1991 wasn't so great. The Rockers versus the Hart Foundation in Tokyo. So that this match is completely in Japanese, but I think it adds actually to the match because you have to actually watch the match. You're not relying on the commentating. Really good match. Bret Hart pins Shawn Michaels to win I think it was to retain the tag team titles. Ooh, here we got Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels in a ladder match, 1992 for the Intercontinental Championship. Really good match as well. This was actually the first ever ladder match in WWF history. So you got Bret vs. Shawn Intercontinental Championship in Syracuse, April 29th, 1992. Another really good match. This is the hidden gem right here. The WWE Championship on the bottom. Survivor Series 1992, right there. Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart for the WWF title. Man, that's the gem. If I had to say, I have to pick something, that's the gem of this DVD. Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, Survivor Series 1992. Great match. Great match, man. And there's a steel cage match from, let's see, from New York in December 1st, 1993. Another really good match. And this three is you probably wouldn't like this three unless you were a really big Shawn Michaels fan or a really big Bret Hart fan. It does have the Iron Man match, which is a great match. But then it has the induction. It has Bret Hart's induction and then Shawn Michaels' induction. And you wouldn't typically watch those unless you were interested in the wrestlers themselves and their careers and their stories. They give great speeches. I was actually really impressed by Triple H's introduction of Shawn Michaels. His speech was very heartfelt. It was very good speech by Triple H to introduce Shawn. And then the coup de grace, I guess, is the when Bret Hart returned to Raw right there. This three, Bret Hart returns to Raw, and you have the reconciliation of Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart after 12 years that they haven't seen each other. And they actually said in the interview that was sincere. Like everything they said wasn't planned, wasn't anything. Like they just spoke from the heart at that moment. So I do recommend this DVD. I'll probably give it like a 4 stars. Really good DVD. Especially if you're a Shawn Michaels fan or a Bret Hart fan. And that's why I don't give it 5 stars, because it is what it is, Bret versus Shawn. And if you don't really like either guy, I think you would still enjoy this DVD, but you probably wouldn't rewatch it over and over again. I might not. I mean, there is some good matches that I might want to rewatch, but these aren't my favorite wrestlers of all time. So, anyway, thanks everybody for watching. What do you guys think about this DVD? Give me some suggestions of DVDs that you'd like me to review. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Peace.